Welcome back to Nobody Told Me This Part Caregiving, Loss, and What Comes Next. I'm your host, Shelby Della Rosa. If you're brand new here, welcome. I'm so glad you found your way. And if you've been here since the beginning, welcome back. I'm glad to have you. We're starting something new today, a new series, a little deeper than the first one, and I want us to ease into it gently. So let's take a breath together and begin. If you made it through the first series with me, you did some really hard work. You let yourself look at some things that are genuinely not easy to look at: the hollow feeling, the couch, the guilt that came wrapped around the relief, the moment you realized you didn't know who you were anymore without the caregiving to define you. You named those things, and naming them matters. It matters more than most people realize. But here's what I want to ask you today, honestly and gently. When you named all of that, did the weight lift? Maybe a little. I really hope so. But if you're anything like me, and like most of the women I know who walked this road, the honest answer is probably not entirely, maybe not even mostly. And I want you to know that that's not a sign that something is wrong with you. It's not a sign that you didn't do the work or that you're stuck or that this is just how it's going to feel forever. It's actually a sign that there's more to understand. And understanding is exactly what this series is about. See, here's what I've come to know after 16 years on this side of caregiving and loss. Naming something and truly understanding it are two different things. They're related, but they're not the same. Naming is like finally seeing the thing that's been in the room with you all along. Understanding is learning why it's there, how it got there, what it's been doing to you while you weren't looking directly at it. And there's still some of that work to do, not because you haven't tried hard enough, but because what happened to you was really complicated and it left marks in places that take a little longer to find. It left marks in your body, in the way your nervous system still braces for the next emergency, even when there isn't one, in the exhaustion that doesn't seem proportional to what you're actually doing anymore, and the physical stuff that maybe started showing up after the loss, that your doctor might not have connected to everything you've been through. It left marks in your sense of who you are. That's a big one. And we're going to spend a good chunk of this series there because honestly, it deserves the time. It left marks in your relationships, the ones that shifted during the caregiving years and maybe haven't found their footing again, the friendships that thinned, the family dynamics that got complicated in ways nobody really talks about. And for some of you, what you went through crossed into territory that has a specific name: trauma. We're going to talk about that word, what it actually means, and why you might have more right to claim it than you think. Now, I want to be really clear about something before we go any further. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a counselor. I'm a woman who's been through this, who has done a lot of her own work, and who has walked alongside a lot of other women doing theirs. There are going to be moments in this series where I'm going to gently but clearly say, this is where a really good counselor might be your best next step. not because you're broken, but because some of this weight genuinely deserves more than a podcast. It deserves real, professional, personal support. I'll always tell you when we're in that territory, and I'll never say it to scare you or push you away. Just the opposite, actually. Here's what I want you to hold on to as we start this series together. The old phrase, April showers bring May flowers. I know it sounds simple, almost too simple for everything you've been carrying, but stay with me for a second. The showers aren't punishment. They're not proof that the sunshine's never coming. They're actually doing something. They're doing the slow, invisible, necessary work of making the ground ready for something to grow. That's what this series is. We're going to look at the hard things, the heavy things, the things still living in your body and your relationships and your sense of self, not to stay in the rain, but because understanding them is what makes the ground ready. The sunshine is coming. I've seen it. I'm living in it most days, 16 years later. Not perfectly, not without the occasional storm rolling back through, but it's real and it's possible for you, and we're going to walk toward it together. One episode at a time, one breath at a time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your time and your energy. I know they're still not always easy to come by. Please remember, healing isn't about fixing your old self. It's about learning who you are now. And here's what I want to add to that today for this season we're stepping into together. You've already started, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Even if you still feel mostly like the woman on the couch. Something in you found this podcast, kept listening, and showed up again today. That's not nothing. That's actually everything. If you'd like a little extra support, personal support from me, I'd like to mention to you my Steady Ground sessions. They're a chance to get one-on-one with me and not map out your next 5 years or 3 years or even 1 year. Just help you get to the place where you can look at your next step or two and move toward that with some confidence. I'll leave the link for that in the show notes for you. I'll see you next week. Until then, take it one breath at a time. Take good care of yourself. You've already begun.